Okay, everybody, CSW podcast. It's been a long time since we did one. It is February 7th, 2022. On with Coach Erik Paulson and Coach Alan Baker.
Happy New Year. It sounds like it was 3 months ago, but it's only been a half a month. Christmas, tell me that Christmas didn't fly by for you guys.
It did.
It did.
Well, I was waiting. I was like, oh, Christmas finally is going to be great with the holidays. And a week later, Christmas is gone and, oh, New Year's Eve. Oh, and then all of a sudden, like, what? All the Christmas lights are gone. Everyone's planning on Valentine's Day.
Well, the smart ones are.
Yeah, I've already got hearts in my house hanging up. Well, Valentine's week is a big week because Tanya's birthday is February 11th, and then the 14th is Valentine's Day. So
you don't do the combo thing, do you? You do separate them, right?
Yeah, but sometimes, like for the birthday, I'll get flowers, and they'll last all the way through Valentine's Day. Well, as long as I get flowers and chocolates in between the birthday and Valentine's Day, I'm doing good.
Okay.
And some coffee. Pick up some coffee.
Yeah.
Oh, here she comes. Tanya.
I'm trying to cook lunch, and I can hear all this silliness. We don't need to be talking about. You're going to have to buy me a bunch more stuff than that now if you're going to be acting like that.
Look at Tanya Paulson on the podcast. This is truly a special episode.
I'd like to thank my sponsor.
We spotted the unicorn.
Hey!
So Coach, we just had an awesome seminar a couple of days ago at Trident.
Yeah, it was wonderful. It was like everyone came out of the woodwork to show up, and they were thinking that there was going to be a snowstorm, but to no avail. I brought the sun with me.
You did.
And I supposedly it's supposed to be getting cold today, right? Is it getting cold there now?
Oh yeah, it's still cold. Yeah.
But that Arctic breeze is pretty bad.
Yeah, it's that East Coast cold. Yeah, I'm ready for winter to be over, but yeah, not quite. But that was a great seminar though. I had a good time. I
think we did. That's our 24th year or something like that there.
I think it's been longer than that.
Is it 27?
26, I think. 26 or 27, something like that.
I said if I was promoting Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu back when I first started, there would have been, the whole room would have been black belts. Isn't that funny?
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, most of the guys that had stuck it out, most of the guys that were doing jiu-jitsu back then, they were all black belted up. Bob's on his way.
No, I got a long way to go. I'm just happy to train.
Bob got an award for training the hardest trainer on the entire seminar. Bob was doing all the drills at full speed, not looking around, not worrying who's watching. He was just doing the drills like you're supposed to. And then there's this red neon glowing bulb in the middle of the room, and oh, that's Bob.
And you're not even sore today, are you?
I'm so sore. High blood pressure. I turn purple when I'm on the mat.
Well, wearing a rash guard under the gi is always a good reason to overheat. If you're not going to train hard and it's cold, yeah. But if you're drilling like you were drilling, take that rash guard off.
Truly had the old man vibe going Saturday.
You should have gave us the Ben Stiller sweaty chest hair massage.
Yeah, no. That was great though, because you gave a great talk in there too when you talked about BJ Penn and what he said, about rolling with everybody.
Well, that's one thing I admire is BJ's in a room of black belts and he'll come in and roll with you. And then he goes, I have to stop. He goes, look at all the talent in the room. I have to learn from everybody. And I'm like, wow, you're BJ Penn and you talk like that? He goes, yeah, look at all the information here. Everyone's got something to offer. And it was just the attitude and his personality like that. He's humble and he's funny. You could tell, like, you want to tell him a joke, but you don't know him well enough to say something. So you're like, do I say it or don't I? You know, what should I say? Should I say what's on my mind or should I not say it? Because you're not sure how he's going to take it, Alan. And then you tell him, and then he laughs and you go, oh, okay, all right, good. We're on the same mindset here.
No, it was good. Really good energy in the room. Everybody was real positive, and I think that's the first seminar I've done in because we did the camps, but I always have to film. So I got to train for this one, and I think it's the first seminar I've done in at least 2 years of all the lockdown stuff.
I think we did a lot of stuff too that kept everyone occupied, right?
Oh, I loved it. It's great.
I did a recap on the airplane. I was watching. Did you guys see the movie Reacher? Jack Reacher, the TV show?
I haven't seen the show yet.
Not the show.
It's really good.
I heard it was good.
There's so much fighting in it, and I love how he just doesn't take shit from anybody, and everything that he does is justified.
Yeah, I got to check that one out. I heard it's really, really good.
The guy who plays him, he's a 6'5" guy.
Well, that's what the character's supposed to be, right?
I guess so. He's big.
He's a big guy.
Yeah, but this guy, he's super duper smart. And like they tried to throw him under the bus. They said, you don't know what he did in Lebanon. And he's like, well, what did you do in Lebanon? He goes, I was in a village and I was helping these little kids. And then I came back and I caught the 3 men that were abusing the kids. And he told them, he said, you leave now, let the kids be, don't touch the kids, everything will be cool. If you come back for the kids one more time, that's the end of your life. So he beat the crap out of these guys and he kicked them out of the village. And then he just sat in the dark against the wall, just waited. And then the guys came back looking for him. And he just 3 shots, pop, pop, pop. That was it.
John Wick style.
Yeah, but it justified. And he said, so if you have a problem with me defending kids getting abused, then we know where our relationship stands.
I'm going to check that one out. I've heard nothing but good about it.
I watched up to episode 5. I was really impressed. And it was a good 5-hour flight home. I downloaded all of it on Amazon Prime.
Awesome.
So before I get on the airplane, I try to download something new or a series or something. And it definitely worth watching. You guys would all like it. I was clapping. Just the way he fights and beats people up. It's really cool.
Yeah, I love getting some good action movies. That's cool.
Well, I just thought, he just fights once in a while. No, he fights all the time. The whole movie's based on like him beating people up and shooting people.
That's like a whole series of books, isn't it?
I don't know, but it was my style of movie.
Oh, heck yeah.
Oh, Reacher.
Yeah. It's Reacher. It's just Reacher, not Jack Reacher.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll check it out, man.
Yeah, I think like as soon as I watched the first episode, I was like, man, I hope the rest of them are like this.
Do you think is the guy a martial artist? Does he move like a martial artist or an actor who sort of did a little bit? Does he move well?
Oh, in one scene, this big guy, because he goes, I'm looking for so-and-so. So this big guy walks up and he goes, he's our friend. We don't tell anybody where that guy's at. And he goes, you're a boxer. I could tell. And he goes, golden gloves. And he goes, well, there's one problem with boxing. He goes, you have too many rules. And then he cracks him in the balls, elbows him, and then throws his head down the pool table. And then just stuff like that. And then the next one, he went to prison with the guy only to protect this guy. And he got put in prison. They got thrown into the lifers section where all the lifers are. and they're all taking bets on who gets the guy first. This guy, it was a cellmate. So he was up on the top bunk just laying there, and the guy comes in and he's like, there you are. There you are. He goes, you're perfect. And then he's like, okay, well, and then the guy goes, let's see. Let's see. I need this. I need that. He goes, take your shirt off. Okay, good. Yeah, I'll need those glasses. To give me your glasses. And he goes, I need one more thing from you. And then he starts undoing his pants. And the guy, and then all of a sudden, that's when Breacher jumps up off of his thing and looks at the guy. And he goes, listen up, fatso. Because the guy was kind of fat. He goes, listen up, fatso. And he goes, you haven't been invited here. And then all of a sudden the guy goes, listen up, bitch. You don't know who I am. And then all of a sudden he just grabs him. He pops him immediately with an elbow. He spins his head and puts it against the upper bed post, which is steel. It's like a steel thing that goes across. It puts it up there, and he's just like donk, 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 bouncing his elbow off the guy's head like 5 times, and the guy hits the floor. It's perfect. I was like, man, this movie's, I can't wait. It's full of fun.
This really is my kind of movie.
Yeah, I'm telling you, you'll watch the first episode and you'll just be sold right there. I thought it was going to be corny and a bunch of acting. There's both.
I'm going to put one on tonight, and Janet's going to leave the room because I have a big sound system. I'll crank it up, and it'll be like...
Now, your neighbors will think that you're in a street fight.
Yeah, and I can't hear anything anyway, so I play it all really loud. It'll be perfect.
I play my sound so loud in my TV, it goes right through our neighbor's fence, and they're sitting outside eating dinner, and every time there's a change or a fight scene, they're like jumping at dinner because the noise is so loud. That's how you know you're old, Alan.
You're scaring the neighbors?
No, when you have your TV up so loud that it's entertaining the whole neighborhood.
Guilty.
Yeah, I got to buy one first.
Yeah, Alan's one of those dudes who doesn't have a TV.
Well, you have a miniature TV.
I got a computer screen. Oh, yeah, I guess this thing is a small TV, right?
Like what Eddie Bravo said, he goes, listen, because I brought him a bunch of books. I go, hey, have you ever read these? And he looked at me and started laughing. I go, what? He goes, I don't read books. He goes, I don't need a book. He goes, all the information you need is right here. And then he said, this is like a movie screen. I put it on and I sit back in my room and he goes, it's like sitting in the back of a movie. That's it. That's your...
I read on this Kindle.
Oh.
Because you can't get distracted. You got to put the phone away and you can just like read. It doesn't, no alerts, doesn't do anything.
Good.
I'm reading some stuff on that right now. There's a book called Stolen Focus. It's kind of popular right now. It's about how to kind of get your attention span back.
Oh, really?
Everybody's like this all the time.
Yeah.
You get distracted.
You know, it's called Driven to Distraction.
I haven't heard of that one.
They're pulled from so many sources sometimes.
Yeah.
One of the biggest sources of being pulled is our phone, obviously. Our phone. Because we have, you're answering emails, you're answering texts, people are sending you stuff. You got Instagram, then you've got your posting if you post regularly, that you got to read stuff. If your phone, I mean, most people don't even answer the phone anymore. They just text me. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. There's a whole field of research they're doing on that right now. It's interesting, like just how people's
brainwaves change in the morning when the first thing you wake up, you grab your phone. Your brainwaves change immediately.
Yeah, you got to put routines in place to kind of protect your brain a little bit from getting jacked around from stuff like that.
Well, first thing I do before I get out of bed, I say thank you for today, and then I ask for my day to be guided. Please guide my day, and then after that, I might kind of just like creep over and my hand will slowly grab my phone, and then I go. I get all my news. All the news I get is on my phone.
How many likes? How many likes?
I never look at. I'm not like that at all. All I want to see, because I've got 15 to 20 friends that all send me cool news stuff every day, and I don't care about the funny stuff. I do care about that, but I like, hey, here's what's happening today in Russia and Ukraine. Hey, here's what's so like world news stuff that you're not going to get. Our news source today is from our phones. It's no longer on TV. People aren't even watching the news.
Well, Alan nodded when we started talking about attention. Is any of that in your book, Alan?
Yeah.
You cover any of that? It's not a shameless plug. I'm genuinely curious.
And yeah, I do actually. And the morning routine, coach is talking about, gratitude as a drill.
First thing in the morning, first thing before my feet hit the floor, I say, thank you very much. God the Father, thank you very much for this day. Please lead my day, open all divine appointments, and set my way forward. And then I put my feet on the floor. And then all of a sudden I can hear the devil going, oh shit, he's awake. Go get him.
One of the most powerful triggers for focus is gratitude. Brings you in the here and now.
I agree.
And back to that seminar talk you gave, Erik, the humbleness and the humility of it. That's like the most important thing for me, is just to be open like that, especially in a room like that. Boy, man, you really can feed off that room of people, and everybody's so positive. It's great. And, no egos, and, you're just moving around with everybody. It's awesome.
There was a lot of guys that I've never trained before there. So that was the first time they ever got to, and the whole thing is, which I believe is the first thing you do is you get guys moving and shaking right off the bat. There's no judgment of, oh, he's teaching a technique, or, oh, I can't believe we have to do these running warm-up drills. Oh, I can't believe we have to do crunches and shrimps and bridges. You go right into person-on-person drilling from the get-go, and your mind's already occupied.
Well, it's funny.
And there I go, I don't drill. That's not. You drill. You have fun, even if you do it twice.
No, I love that part. It's funny. Chris Reggs goes, because my training partner is really good. He's a really good guy. He Jeff Muller, and I was asking him questions, and he was correcting some of my stuff, and Chris Reggs was watching that, and he goes, Bob, you did all the videos, like you know all of this. I went, nah, man. I was like, even though I've probably watched more of your stuff than probably anybody, it's not the same. Yeah. You got to get on the mat and do it. It's just not the same. So you got to get those mat hours. You can't just watch the videos. You got to get your reps. So yeah, I'm getting corrected too, even though I did the darn videos,
the thing that happens when I start writing, and then all of a sudden the sky opens.
Yeah.
God hand appeared yesterday on the airplane. I was watching Jack Reacher, and then I just stood up. I went up into my bag above me, and I pulled my bag down. I pulled out my notebook, and Tony goes, "What are you doing?" It wasn't there was no light. It was dark. And all of a sudden, I just pulled out my pen. I put my head down because I needed to be like this far away from the paper because it was dark. And I went, and she goes, "What did you do?" And I go, "I don't know. Read this." And it was 5 pages of notes, complete pages, just like boink, boink, boink. Just tons of different drills. And then I recapped some of the drills we did. But that's a big thing, is like recall. Can you recall when you guys train and you do stuff? Can you remember what you teach, Alan?
Yeah, well, I update my notes every week. I'll go to class, teach, and I usually take it with me stuff will come to mind, and then I'll add it to the list. We're actually doing submissions and mount this week, and this morning I went through the whole thing, and
something will come up when you're teaching something new, or you watch somebody do something and then you go, oh, hold on, do that again. And you're like, oh, okay. Variations, everything that when I start to write, I write about, I'll write a list of, here's the step over the head series. You step over the head and they push the leg off, and here's number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, A, B, C, and then you do the jump over, and then that turns into a series. Oh, and then from this position, you got pop, 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 variations 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's what came out last night when I was writing. It was like series after series after series. And I think I think my memory's coming back. That's what's happening.
Well, we've been writing for months now, and that's what Coach does when we start writing. We'll kind of casually, just talk a little bit, and then you can tell when it clicks in. He's like, "All right, you ready?" And you better be ready to type really fast. And I use mind maps. You can go down the branches, because when Coach gets going, you better be ready to go fast to get that down, because he's not kidding. It's like bang, 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 bang. You go fast, get it all down.
Everything just pops in my head, and then sometimes it's gone in a minute.
Yeah, it's quick. But we got a good groove going, with getting the MMA. Now the lesson plans are going. We kind of have the buckets full, and we're getting the levels put together.
It's getting pretty full there. All the levels for MMA and all the variations, and and then we'll continue to add and maybe subtract as we go.
I think what we're going for is you got the requirements, which should be achievable by a normal student. You don't have to be super athlete. Normal student can achieve these goals, these learning objectives for each level. It will have learning objectives in them, and then lesson plans that go with them. We'll
give people something to teach rather than just a drill, and you do one thing. It's like, okay, here's a drill with a few variations. What the heck is?
But then if you are one of those superstar, like super talented people, that's on the side. You can do deep dives into stuff too, but that won't be like the core stuff.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of instructor programs, I hear somebody's working on a Shooto instructor program for the association.
I've already tested 2 people for their first level Shooto test. I ran them through the whole thing. I ran Bryce and Trent. I've been training Bryce privately. He did 20 private lessons in 10 segments at a time. And each lesson is approximately 2 to 2.5 hours. We just run through curriculum. And normally a private lesson is supposed to be an hour, but I say if I'm going to do a private, it's the amount of time that it takes to get through what we need to get through for a private. That's what a private should be anyways. It shouldn't be you coming in and showing 5 moves and going, see you later, great job. Although that's another way to teach. I think one of the things with the private is you're actually getting time where you can bounce. We talk about, in the end, we talk about a few current events, things going on, which is kind of cool, and thoughts on things. Hey, what do you think about this? What do you think about that? And then we talk about training and rolling and competing, and also curriculum and coaching, because Bryce was doing this so he could get his coach curriculum, or he's trying to get up there so he could get to a coaching status. And so I ran him through with Trent as a test run, all the Shooto all the Shooto stuff. I went through each thing, so they have to know each one. So if I put two guys together and I call it out, here's it's a technique, and then it goes A, B, C, D. They know all three of them. All the throwing, some of the throws are different because let's say the head and arm kubinagi, it's a side throw. It's not over the top. It's not a head and arm hip toss. You take them sideways. And that little cock knee, you cock your knee in. So like your stance and your rear knee cocks in like that. That's also for boxing, for kickboxing, for shooting, and it's also for throwing. So it's just a little variation that Shooto had that's a little bit different. Hanging arm throw, single arm throw, double leg tackle, single leg tackle, and then the neck cranks, the turtle position, the sit out. It's got catch wrestling, a lot of catch wrestling mixed with it. And then the biggest thing is not just the positioning, but it's in the end, it's the two lock flows for the first combo is combo lock flow 1, combo lock flow 2, which is 30 techniques is 1 and 2 is 18. Number 1 is all body. Number 2 is all legs. And then the next test is 3 and 4. 3 and 4. So it's combo 3 and combo 4. And then the next would be, so you have beginner level, it's advanced student. And then you have advanced 2. And then usually after advanced 2, you could have another one, or you could go pre-shooter. The pre-shooter are 7 combinations, and then basically the test for that was throwing, takedown, and then a demonstration of combos 1 through 7, and then you have to roll 5 rounds. You have 5 rounds to roll, and you can only get submitted 1 time. So your submission better be pretty good.
Is that the video that I have of yours? Your test was that round?
That was a pre-shooter test.
That was pretty tough.
I never wanted to test. I mean, if you look at the list of all the guys that tested, I was like the last guy to test. I was the first guy to fight, the last guy to test, because I didn't care about, like, they're like, hey, you should test for your rank. I go, that doesn't matter to me. What matters are the training partners. I don't care about the rank. That's how I got blackballed in jiu-jitsu. They were talking about when I was a blue belt at Hickson's, I went away to fight in Japan, and I was up for my promotion, and I came back and they said, oh, I go, hey, congratulations, you got your purple belt. The guy goes, oh, it's for you, but you weren't here. So they gave it to me. So 2 guys got a purple belt, and I go, oh, they must have only had 2 purple belts for sale at the place then. And I go, well, you started way after me. I go, I'm your senior, but I said, so congratulations. Who cares? And he goes, what? And I go, it doesn't matter to me. What matters are the people on the floor, not the belt around my waist. The guy goes, really? And I go, yeah, I don't care. If you're a purple belt, I'm still going to beat you. So what does it matter? I would rather be underbelted. I would rather be a tough ass underbelted guy than a weak ass overbelted guy. Think about that. You're out there getting tapped out by people that are lower belts than you.
Write that one down. That's the quote of the week.
Yeah.
So I'm just looking at it going, I don't care about the belt. I mean, my friend's like, hey, guess what? I got promoted. I'm a higher belt than you now. And I go, congratulations. Big deal. Like, nothing's going to change on the mat. I'm still going to beat you. Like, okay, you got belted. Big deal. It's a promotion. Congratulations. I'm not sad. I'm happy for you. But don't give me an attitude like you're, someone suddenly they got a belt and you didn't, so that means they're better than you. It doesn't matter. Who cares?
A trap. That's a trap.
Hey, you know what belt mattered to me? The belt of Japan mattered to me because I was training to fight in Japan. The belt of Shooto. I was the only American to be able to go to Japan, along with Chad, the first 2 Americans to fight. I was the first American to fight, the first American to win, and then the first American to take the belt from the Japanese in a sport that they created, which was created in like 80. Well, it's controversial, 82, 84, 85, somewhere around there. Created in 82, 80, 84. I think Sensei Yuri got his, he became the champion of Shooto in 84, 85. But Shooto had the most matches of any league, any MMA league in the world.
Did they even call it MMA back then? I don't think they did yet, right?
No.
It was NHB back then, right?
It wasn't even NHB. In Japan, it was shoot wrestling.
Okay.
And they'd say shooting. And then I said, this means something different in America. As a shooter, I'm a shooter. They also call some of the guys hookers, which were the pro catch wrestlers. But I was a pro shooter. All the pro shooters, when they took pictures, were required to do this. So when you see me point like that, that was a requirement as a shooter. You had to put your hand like that. So all the guys in Japan that were shooters would always do this. So everyone saw me pointing. So now you look at every picture in jiu-jitsu and all the guys are doing this and they're pointing at each other. But they don't understand that this was required as a shooter in Japan.
Oh, never knew that one.
Yeah. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you something. Just so you see it, because I haven't really shown this.
I missed doing our podcasts. This is fun.
Okay. This is a picture of most of the champions in Japan. There's a few missing. Let's see. Can you see?
Awesome. For audio people, it's a picture of everybody in the ring, and they're all doing the trigger or the gun point.
It's required. Those were all the shooters. Those are all the pro fighters. And then that was the commission, the Shooto commission.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah, thank you. That was a pretty cool picture. And then David Lee did a history chart. So it had me, because he learned from me, Sensei Yuri, Satoru Sayama. Then it had Carl Gotch, and then Billy Riley. Carl Gotch learned from Billy Riley. Sayama trained with Carl Gotch. And Billy Robinson was actually an active wrestler at that time. So he learned more so from, I'm going to say, Carl Gotch. And they called Carl Gotch the god of submission. And Sensei Yuri, really, if you look at the old Shooto lock flows, they were half what they are today. The first lock flow is only 14 moves, 12 to 14 moves. And today they're 28 to 30 moves. So Yuri actually added and changed a lot of the curriculum. There's a Jung Fan one too.
That's awesome.
Guru Dan. And then these are his teachers, my teachers, and these are some of that's his jiu-jitsu lineage. Maeda. A lot of people don't know Maeda was actually a catch wrestler, a jiu-jitsu, and a judo person. Jiu-jitsu, judo, and catch wrestling, carnival wrestling. That's how he made a living. Back then, in order to make money, you had to travel and hit up all the carnivals and get paid to wrestle at the carnivals just to put food in your mouth. So interesting.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's cool.
And a lot of people don't understand or realize that now, like someone says, hey, where'd you get your black belt? You go, oh, I got it off Instagram. Or no, I got it off YouTube. I got a black belt off of YouTube. They're black belts because all they do is practice techniques they see online. But they don't realize the amount of work and the amount of sacrifice that it took for all these guys to get information. That's why catch wrestling, the old catch wrestlers, they wouldn't teach people. It turned into pro wrestling. From 1920 to 1930, it went from catch wrestling, real catch wrestling, where you could win by pin or submission, to pro wrestling. So you had to have a gimmick. You had to learn acting. You had to have good acting skills. And you had to include acrobatics. That made you more dynamic. But you were known for your gimmick. And your gimmick was whatever your move was. And I didn't realize how important that was until I wrestled professionally in Japan. And I wrestled, and Booker T was there. And Booker T was in the back room. And I was getting ready to walk out. And I go, I can't wait to get out there and hit my spinner-rooney. And he goes, oh, no, you don't. Don't you dare. Don't you dare use my move. He goes, that's my move. Don't you dare use my move. And I was like, wow, he really got testy over that. I was just goofing off. And then someone goes, you can't goof off about stuff like that. That's his gimmick. And I was like, well, I don't even know what the spinner-rooney is. I've never seen it. I was just goofing off. I thought I was gonna pop up in someone's guard and just spin them in a circle till they went flying or something. I didn't know it was like a breakdown. You fall on your back and you spin. Like when you throw a guy and then you drop down and you do a breakdance spin on your back, and then you pop up and then finish. That's a windmill. That's a spinner-rooney. But it was funny because I kind of offended him, and I had no idea. Mark Coleman was there. Kevin Randleman, God rest his soul. Kevin Randleman was there. Don Fry, Tom Howard, Josh Barnett. There was a ton of people wrestling that day. That evening, I got to witness and be a part of it. It was so funny because I woke up early. I go downstairs. I ate a healthy Japanese breakfast, and I'm like ready for the day. And then all of a sudden, Don Fry comes down. He goes, hey, we need to go eat. And I go, oh, well, I just ate. And he goes, no. Let's go to Burger King. So we went to Burger King, and he's like, give me a double burger, a large fry, an onion ring, a large Coke, and a vanilla shake.
What the?
Wow. Really?
What's that about?
Yeah, exactly. What's that about? So I didn't know what it was about until afterwards. I'm just watching him eat all this crap, oil and grease and then a shake and then a soda. And he goes, that's good enough. I'm good. And then, so sure enough, we were at the stadium, and you have to wait until your match is. And my match is until 8:00. And I eat breakfast at 7 a.m. So Don Fry at 11 or 12 goes to Burger King and eats that much food like that. And I was like, man, I can't believe he's eating this food before his match. And all of a sudden, sure enough, 6:00 rolls around and my stomach's like, hungry. And I'm running around the stadium going, man, I'm starving. I'm hungry. I ate clean food this morning. I'm already hungry. I was hungry at 2:00. And I look over, and Don's just like this, laying back with the feet up, all smiles and happy. I go, Don, you hungry? He goes, no, I'm good. I filled my stomach with grease and I'm good to go. And I was like, man, he knows what he's doing.
He knew the trick.
Yeah, the oil stays in your system all day long. So like you got one meal, you might as well eat burger and fries because that's going to stay in your body till late at night.
Alan just made a face.
I thought I was cool. I ate all healthy. Stupid. I was so hungry. I was literally like, man, I'm starving. I'm going to pass out. Dom Fries is sitting around smiling. And I just walked up and I go, can I smell your burps?
Is that like your old Seafood Larry stories? Like, I'm really greasing up for this one.
Yeah. A burger and fry. I'm really greasing up for this one. It's funny because that's what the old timers knew. They knew that they had to, you can't just have a bowl of porridge and think that that's good enough, you know, or an apple.
That's gone in an hour.
It's the grease. That's the secret. So for me, I found out the secret is actually peanut butter.
Oh, now we're talking.
Before your workout, you go, oh man, I got to work out. I'm hungry, but I don't want to get stitches in my side from overeating, or I can't eat an hour before I train hard. Yeah, you can. You can have peanut butter. Put it on an apple. Put a peanut butter on an apple. Put a peanut butter on some celery. Best snack in the world is peanut butter and celery, peanut butter and apples, or peanut butter and salt wafer, just water wafer crackers. Man, that's the best. You could even put a little honey on it. But if you have sugar issues, just the peanut butter, because that just gave you about 45 to an hour more of training time before your blood sugar runs out again.
You're describing my yogurt bowl.
Yep.
Well, so I would eat your yogurt bowl if you didn't blend it. You blend it. You think you're a Dairy Queen, so you blend it like one of those Frosty freezes. Man, this would be good because it's all separate. I take a bowl of vanilla pudding. Vanilla yogurt, flavored vanilla, and I put honey on it, and then I put granola on it, and I put blueberries on it, and I slivered almonds.
That's my yogurt bowl.
Yeah, and maybe some dark chocolate chips.
Yes, right? That's it.
Yeah, but you mix it up.
Yeah,
I don't mix it.
Why?
Because you get more flavor, I think, when you're eating it without mixing it.
Oh, okay. Well, I got a little trick too. I do a little because I have honey, and then the honey kind of solidifies a little bit. So hopefully I'm not messing it up. But I like nuke it for 10 seconds to make it liquid, and then I put my yogurt in, and then stir it all up. And then I have honey flavored yogurt. That's my base.
Pour a quad shot on top of that, and then.
I've been off coffee for a year.
What? You're just gonna like throw that out there?
This is water. I haven't had coffee in a year.
I think your energy levels are more complete. I think that they are more sustained today.
I loved it. But I mean, I was drinking probably at least 4 of these a day.
Now you need to go Coffee Anonymous.
No, I just quit cold turkey because I was having like acid issues with it.
You went to CDA, right?
What's that?
Coffee Drinkers Anonymous.
Softball.
Alan would not be able, if he had to go to detox for coffee.
Alan's never quitting coffee.
Yeah, he would walk out halfway through it.
Right. You're assuming I would be there.
Oh, yeah. You're not getting him in the room.
You'd have to get you into the van first.
Yeah, that's not happening. He does whole courses on how to not get put in the van.
And that's if I don't know what's happening. You're going to say, hey, we're going to take you to this place and there's never going to be any coffee anymore. Get in the van. Like, yeah, good luck with that.
What's the name of the books?
The one that came out a year or so ago was The Warrior's Path.
Okay.
And the one that's launching in May is The Universal Principles of Change.
Perfect. What's the warrior's path about?
Well, over the years, a lot of lessons that I learned from people like yourself, Guru, Ajahn. Most of it was taught in between training, things that affected my life, helped me achieve more, be more.
Yeah.
And I don't normally see that taught in classes. And I had this huge notebook of all of these principles that I follow to this day to get things done. So that was the first book. Was
quiet. Like, just give a teaser.
Oh, well, one of the big things that was popular about it was talking about my morning routine and the breathing exercises, meditations, the gratitude drill, like Coach just shared. That's part of it. Every day, 20 to 30 minutes. And if I miss, I can tell, right away.
You feel off. Yeah. If I don't meditate, some days I don't meditate. Man, today's not going right. Something feels off today. And then you look at your morning routine. What didn't I do today? Well, I didn't get a cup of coffee, or for Bob, a cup of water, and go sit in the sun with my feet in the grass and just listen to the birds chirp, just sit silently and then start absorbing the sun. Do a little bit of sun gazing. You know what sun gazing is? Mm-hmm. Where you stare at the sun as long as you can and blink, and then you keep doing that. But this lady was telling me, Dr. Advij, she's the one that taught me about the Merkaba meditation. And she said, one thing that would help me today is, I would share it, would be, she goes, you need to sun gaze. And I go, sun gaze? She goes, yeah, there's a lot of codes that you get from the sun that downloads into your DNA when you sun gaze and you stare at the sun and you close your eyes, you sit and relax and meditate. She goes, that you're downloading a ton of information that's coming to you. It's coming through the sun.
You're not actually looking at the sun, are you?
Yes, you're staring at the sun as long as you can, and then you blink.
It's like really bad for you, isn't it?
I don't think so. You know what? I just read an article last night that was stating that we're always told to stay out of the sun because it causes cancer. But the biggest cancer forming problem that we have is caused from the stuff that's in our sunscreen.
I have heard that.
It's not the sun, it's what's in our sunscreen.
Well, too much sun, but you can get melanoma. But there's definitely, my dermatologist told me about that. That you got to be careful what kind of sunscreen you use.
As soon as this COVID started and came out, I knew right away that I had to have 30 minutes of sunlight every day not to get sick.
The vitamin D.
And then the second thing I needed was a couple cloves of garlic every day. So I started eating garlic. What I would do is I would chop up a clove of garlic. I'd put it in a spoon and I'd fill it with Manuka honey. You know what Manuka honey is?
Oh, no. What's that?
It's probably the best honey you can buy. A little container of Manuka honey is like $50.
Ugh. Oh, man.
Yeah. And it is so delicious, but I don't know what Manuka honey, the purpose or the reason, but Tanya buys it and I'm looking at the price and I'm like, $50. I could get a huge bottle for $9 or $8 or $5. But with inflation now they're $15 and the Manuka honey's up to $60 for a little thing. But you take a spoonful with a chopped clove of garlic that's not cooked, and that's what you eat every morning.
That sounds awful.
and it's supposed to be super great for your body.
Oh, yeah, it keeps the vampires away.
There's another thing I used to do when I felt a little sick. You slice up. So they said a half. Don't do a half. Do a quarter or an eighth. You throw an onion in a blender with an apple and you drink it.
You ain't selling this stuff too good.
I used to do it. I would throw, and I'm like, I don't think I'll ever do a full onion again.
Ugh.
So what I did is I put a quarter of an onion and an apple in a blender and I drank it. And I'm telling you, like, I got like really hot and I started kind of burning, like, oh, I don't know. I don't feel good. Really bad to the point where I was like, man, I wonder if I'm going to puke or what's up or explode. And all of a sudden, I was like, wow, I feel great. Wow. And someone said, once you get through the burn, reboots your system. That's
still not selling it.
Yeah.
A tree apple mix with a quarter of an onion. Apple onion. Okay, one more. Your kidneys. So when you pee a lot, you got to clean your kidneys. How do you clean your kidneys?
How do you clean your kidneys?
Asparagus.
Oh.
No, so listen, I'll go to the dollar store and I'll buy canned asparagus. And then I buy a can of pineapple. I throw it in the blender and I drink it.
Come on. These are the weirdest combos I've ever heard.
Dr. Patrick Price, he's like, hey, you want a good concoction for your kidneys? And I go, yeah. He goes, asparagus and pineapple.
Oh, man.
Those are the three. Look it up. Look it up. So you got garlic, clove of garlic, chopped up fine in a spoon with Manuka honey. You take a quarter you take a full apple and a quarter of a onion and chop it up and drink it. And then the last is the asparagus mixed with the pineapple.
And stir in 2 ounces of vodka.
Yeah, well, 420 or 430. That's what a lot of people say. It's 4:30 somewhere in the world, right? And that means it's time to have a glass of wine. Or I remember what time was happy hour at the bars? Didn't they start at 4:30 or something?
I don't know. That was old school.
Yeah, because I was a bartender, but all the people in the that work locally, that were in all the offices, as soon as they get out at like 4:00. Happy hours at 4:30.
Do you remember that guy who did the turmeric bath?
Yeah. Listen, somebody told me I did it a bunch of times.
You ruined his bathtub.
You put turmeric, salt, and you can put a little bit of honey in there or a cup of coffee. Yeah, I take, like, if I wake up and I'm super tired and I got to train, I pour a cup of coffee in my bath.
Gallon of kerosene.
Yeah, and it goes right into your pores and it wakes you up.
Disclaimer: don't do this, guys.
Yeah, quarter pound of rusty nails.
I put
good to go.
This guy's bathtub turned yellow. He was mad.
The turmeric bath. Someone said put turmeric in your bathtub. And they said it's the hot water that actually comes in your body. And here's the thing, like, if you have a dirty bath, like if it's gunky, you got gunk from shampoo and conditioner on the sides of your tub, then it's going to grab the color of whatever's in it, right? So, I was doing turmeric baths, and you just got to make sure you rinse off, but
I'm so not doing that.
Yeah, but he ruined his tub and he lost his deposit.
He was so mad.
He's like, hey, remember that turmeric bath? And I was like, no, I don't remember. He goes, yeah, you do. You take a turmeric bath, and I lost my deposit. And I go, well, I have some T-shirts and some hoodies that I'll give you to try to make up for some of that. I'll give you a box of Morganites.
Yeah. That's so great.
Okay.
Hey, Alan, I just looked at the clock. We've been going for like an hour. Is there like business we need to do? Like, did we talk about everything we were supposed to talk about today?
Oh, well, we're going to talk about some of the events that we had scheduled this year.
Let's do that. Let's get them in.
2 coach camps this year, August 5th through 7th. That one's going to be in California at the main training center. November 4th through 6th here in Atlanta. And one of the things that we did, we started the jiu-jitsu program a couple of years ago, and it's grown. So this year we're doing a jiu-jitsu camp And that's all it is. It's just the jiu-jitsu program for the guys that are part of that program. And that's going to be August 26th through the 28th. And then we have the World Conference coming up in April 7th through 10th.
August 7th through the 10th. So a lot of people were asking. It's supposed to be 4 days though, right? Not 3 days?
It has been 4 days in the past.
Yeah. So it'll probably be 4 days.
You talking about the World Conference or the coach camps?
World Conference.
World Conference is 4.
Yeah, 4 days. 4 days. Because the whole premise of having the World Conference was so I could bring people in that I wanted to learn from and introduce them to all the guys that are training. So that was the whole purpose of that, was to learn from all these guys. It wasn't it was all to learn, to grow, and to research. That's why we've had a ton of different people in, and then also it's nice to have some of the same people. Like I love Nikolai's Sabat workout. Again, I'm talking to Nathan to see if his timelines would work.
And always Greg Nelson.
Yeah. Yes. And then, so Greg and I are versatile. We could teach whatever, but I love to teach MMA and then maybe catch wrestling or whatever. And then also I love to try to bring in Nathan Corbett, whose Muay Thai is extremely aggressive, and he's Australian and he's a heavyweight, and he's still got the eye of the tiger. And when he talks, he makes you just want to be a part of what he's doing, and he makes you believe in exactly what you're doing. And he just said, "I just want to say, if I was to fight in Muay Thai, what is the worst thing I could ever hit you with? What's the word? The kicks are mean, the knees are mean." He goes, "But the elbows, it's the elbows. That's what works. That's what knocks everyone out. You get the best response when you elbow or forearm somebody in the face or in the head." So they called him the Golden Elbow, because he would come in like close range Muay Thai. He'd throw a kick or two. He'd step into your face, and it was heavy boxing with liver shots, overhands, and hooks really fast, mixed with the forearm and the elbow, mixed with the elbow, and then the overhand and the uppercut and the hook. And then he'd come right back with an elbow, and then all his variations with the elbow. But he's in your face, punching and mixing the elbows. So he has an aggressive boxing style with elbows, and he speaks from experience. 65 fights, 44 knockouts, 11 belts. 11. Just like not one, not two, not just 11 belts in Muay Thai. So,
and you're talking to him about coming to the conference?
Yes, I have. I told him, he said he's interested. I also trained him when he was 19 years old. He took a seminar I was teaching at Vince Perry's in Queensland, and maybe in his backyard. And he showed up. He was a tall guy. He was thin, but he was a karate guy also. He had a heavy karate background, and then he transitioned that karate background into Muay Thai. And then he just took to the elbow for some reason. He just said, "I think the elbow." He goes, I like to finish a fight. I like to knock people out." And he said, the elbow is the best answer. Just elbow after elbow after elbow.
Never met him. Looking forward to it.
Well, it's nice when he talks, because you can tell he just like lights up and it comes out of him. I go, "Are you planning on fighting again?" He goes, "I kind of want to. It's still in me." I go, "Yeah, it sure is." I mean, that's what the interview would be great for, is to put him on a half-hour podcast just to listen to his insight, because, man, watch his videos on Instagram. His name's Nathan Corbett, Nathan Corbett. Nathan Corbett. And he has a lot of aggressive, just really cool stuff that you can add. I know Greg's been watching and adding some of his stuff into what he does. So, that's it. Pretty cool stuff.
That's awesome.
And we'll see. It's always a surprise who I may or may not have. It's also people's availability.
We already have a bunch of guys that signed up.
Yeah, it's going to be a good one.
Yeah, I think so. They keep it dynamic. I think it's extremely important. And then camaraderie. The Utah guys always show up every year, and they bring 10 guys or 12 guys. And that's
they bring a big crew.
Yeah. The camp is fun. I don't know what I could do to change things a little bit or make them more exciting.
Oh, they're great, Coach. What are you talking about? They're always great.
I might set some obstacles up and get some paintball guns in there. I mean, there's enough room. Just take stuff and shoot, or I don't know.
Shoot house.
Laser tag, or I don't know. We're going to have MMA gang fights again. That's we'll do we'll just do the Reds versus the Blues. So usually we do shirts versus the skins, but this year we'll do Reds versus Blues. And then you just go, ready, go. And the best is when you put them in the cage, because they can't run. And man, some guys just get right into it. They just go for it. They go right down the middle. Some guys got Marine mentality. They go straight in. They're the first in line. And then you get the guys around the side, the floaters and the snipers. They're waiting. They wait, and then they pounce, or they walk around and pot shot people all the time, because that's basically what's going to happen. You're going to get a guy that's just going to walk by and pot shot you, when you're in the middle of fighting. And how often do you get to fight 3 people at one time?
Not very often.
Yeah. It makes you question your fighting ability when you have to fight 2 or 3 people.
And when you get punched behind the ear.
Not 2 so much, but 3 or 4. Unless the worst is when you're fighting 2 guys and one guy's a wrestler.
He just holds you.
No, you're punching a guy, and then all of a sudden a freight train hits you in the side of the legs, and next thing you know, and you're on the ground, and now you got to fight 2 guys.
Now you're done.
Buddy just stands up, and you didn't realize he's a pro soccer player.
Pretty much, yeah.
Game over. Game over. That's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. It's coming up quick.
I love the gang fight stuff. You're looking at all these peaceful protests, and then all of a sudden everything's cool, and next thing you know, some crazy comes in and drives over your buddy and jumps out and starts slugging, or people just are fearless, and they just walk around and they just start slugging people.
Yeah, you get any big group of people pissed off. It doesn't matter what the group is. There's probably something going to happen.
Yeah, so like the biggest thing is your spatial awareness, your circle, not letting people get to your blind sides here and behind you, and always looking behind your back and keeping your back towards like a wall or something like that. But another thing to avoid all that is just don't go to these peaceful places.
Exactly. Just stay home with your family.
Really? What? Hey, I got in a fight with 5 guys. Oh, really? Where were you? Oh, I was protesting. Well, yeah. What do you expect? I mean, that's kind of what it is. There's 2 differences of opinions, and next thing you know, people can't talk. People want to be heard. They don't want to listen.
Seek and ye shall find.
Right. Next thing you know, it's a full-blown fist fight.
Yeah, not cool. And then you get into Tim Tackett's verbal jujitsu.
Well, I don't even think you get to that. I think you're just sitting there, and all of a sudden,
that's the point. Don't be there.
Person doesn't know how to fight, runs up and punches you in the side of the head. You turn around to fight them, and they just turn into a little baby kitty cat.
Especially when they realized they punched Erik Paulson. Remember that story you told? The guy punched you and he hit you in the chest and you went, "You are so stupid."
Yeah, that was Scotland. Yeah, the guy's punch, it went straight for my face and then it went here and it punched me in the chest. And I let him, I put my hands like that. I go, "What are you going to do?" And he punched and he missed. He missed. How do you punch and miss?
Probably halfway through the punch, he realized what was going on. Tried to abort.
Well, it was so funny because everything went so fast. It was such a blur. I remember sitting down, and I sat down after the fight because I fought two guys, and all of a sudden I sat down. I was fine, and then a minute and a half later, my foot started bouncing. You know when you get your nerves kick in? You ever did? All of a sudden your leg starts to shake or something. And it was a minute and a half after I sat down, my knees started shaking. And I go, "Wow, that's weird." And I calmed the nerves in my knee and my foot with a Jägermeister, and it worked really well. And a bear chaser. And then what happened? I was sitting there going, "Did that just happen? What just happened?" Well, everyone was there. It was a melee, and then boom, everyone just like surprisingly disappeared. And I remember getting back to the hotel, and I was like, "Man, did I really get in a fight, or what was that?" And then I had this really cool Adidas jacket. I lifted up and I had a hole in my armpit. And I'm like, "Damn, I did get in a fight." And I go like this. I was like, I lifted my lip up, and I had somebody punched me right here. This guy went like this, and he went boop, and he punched me right here. And I had a circle bruise from his knuckle on my inner lip. I was like, "I think I have a fat lip." That guy punched me in the lip. But he was down a level. The guy was down. So I'm fighting this guy in my face. He shoved me, and then I neck cranked him against the bar. I was twisting his neck, and he was gurgling. And I guess when you're angry, you don't really realize how hard you're twisting someone's neck. I mean, the neck crank turned into a choke. I was cranking his neck. I was mounted. I lifted a leg up. I grabbed his head like this, twisted it, and I was torquing. And I could hear him going, and he was
rip his head off.
And all of a sudden I looked to my right, and there was a crotch. Like there was guys standing at another level, and there was a crotch right here, just like right here, like this, like a little triangle or arch. And I see a guy's head like this, and he's like this, and he goes, "Dook, boop." And he punches. I go, "What the hell?" And then the guys both jumped up, and then I turned into a bear, and I hit two guys with one backhand like this. I hit one guy here and one guy here at the same time like this. I was so mad. When he punched me in the mouth, I'm like, "How dare you?" He jumped up, and I hit him with a bear paw. And then all of a sudden, the two guys went flying. And then I go, "All right, it's on." I put my head down, and I throw the hardest right overhand. I'm like this, and here comes the overhand, and they catch my arm. This guy catches my arm in midair like this. And that's where it ripped my jacket. And I turn around, I looked at him, and he goes, "Don't." And I was like, "What?" And he goes, "Don't do it." And then all of a sudden I turn around and he's gone. I turn around, the guys are gone. Man,
that guy did you a favor.
Yeah.
You probably would have hurt those guys.
That was the second time I was wound up. I was a Hennessy's. I had an elbow all the way back here, just like this. And I was going to drop an elbow like this on the guy's forehead. This guy was either Finnish or Swedish. and he was interrupting our conversation. And the guy came.
Coach, 1 second. I want to hear the rest of the story. Alan has to go.
Oh, well, the guy came at me. I want to
hear the rest of it.
I don't want to tell the story, but anyways, I pulled my arm up to elbow the guy because he shoved me. He goes, "Let's go." He puts his hands up. I go, "Well, it's on. Here we go." So I put my head down and I come up like that. And my buddy goes, boom, and grabs my elbow. He goes, "Man, don't do that." Yeah. Why? He goes, "You're going to kill the guy. You'll split his head in half." I was ready to drop an elbow right down the middle of his face.
He did you a big favor.
Yeah.
You would have ended that guy.
Well, you know what? Is it better to arm drag and choke somebody? Probably. But some people, they need to be hit. You know, some people are so.
That's the line of the day. Some people need to be hit. That's the name of this episode.
You get some people that are so obnoxious. A choke's not going to do anything. They're going to go to sleep. They're going to wake up, and they're still going to be an a-hole.
Coach, I love you. I gotta go teach a class.
See you, buddy.
Bolt on the front of their head like this, they probably won't attack you again. No, you got to teach right now?
Yep, going to go straight and jump on the mat right now.
Oh, man. Well, it was nice to see you. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. It's an awesome story.
I wasn't trying to tell stories. It just came out.
Oh,
that happens. Yeah. See you guys in a little bit.
I'll talk to you tomorrow, buddy.
Okay.
Yeah, Alan.
See you, Coach.
See you later.
I think we got to everything. That was awesome, Coach. Thanks. So our for first podcast in a while. So that was a good one. Lots of great stories.
Recording?
You were still recording.
Oh, okay.
So all right, I'll wrap us up. That's it for this one. Gonna go talk to Coach about some other stuff, but we're gonna see about setting up some more shows. Nathan Corbett, right?
Nathan Corbett, I'd like to bring him on. I'll talk to him possibly Wednesday. We can bring him this week.
That'd be great. And we have I think Alan's talking with Alan Chambers and Jesse Briggs. We're going to have them on the show as well.
That'd be great. Maybe I could interview a couple other people.
100%.
Yeah, I've got a couple other people that have some very intriguing stories.
You've been training with a lot of pros lately, right?
Yeah, a lot of guys that are connected to tons of celebrities. I'm not celebrity struck, but there's a few guys that I really like that I admire that are cool and have good attitude. So I saw BJ Penn last week. I saw Nate Diaz last week. Those guys are really cool. There's a lot more guys. Obviously, Coach Jason Perillo, he's got some unbelievable stories. And he trained Sean McCulley when I fought him.
Oh.
But I get to see him a couple times a week also. He's training a bunch of people. I just I'm on the side. I'm not coaching. I'm just teaching a private lesson. So I just get to see them. It's kind of cool.
That's awesome.
I'm not involved in any of that stuff. Those guys got their team of guys, and it's nice to just walk in and say hi to everybody.
Heck yeah.
Watch them train.
Oh, that's great.
Now you have to teach at the same time, so my energy has to be focused on my client, not my not what I used to love to do.
Well, you've been doing a lot of collie work lately too.
Collie and Jakey, both, yeah. A lot of sword, a lot of double stick, single stick, stick and dagger, knife, tons of empty hand. And I've been boxing and kickboxing. Mark Sells and I have been boxing. We were boxing. Now I'm starting to kickbox again. I had some balance issues but things have gotten a lot better, and so I've been doing kickboxing, but we're going to actually start to pick it up a little more and make it more combative. We were doing a lot of drilling, but I think I really need to sweat harder and hit things instead of hitting each other all the time. Maybe start hitting more pads and
Pad work.
I have a pad routine that I created for the fighters a long time ago, and I used to do it every day with everybody. And it's a really, really great. Just if you could do that every day. Alan was talking about routine. That was our routine every day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm interested in some. I was just asking before we started recording. I don't think we recorded any of this about basically some like torso flexibility stuff. Because like we were talking about, we did the seminar, and I'm getting a little bit of old man syndrome with when we're doing the roll back, to do like when you do the Granby or just to roll back and touch your feet behind. And then bring them this way and this way, around, just to have that flexibility, that upper body flexibility.
Helicopter or the rocking chair.
Yeah, I need work on that.
Helicopter rocking chair. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to do sequence.
When you get on the mat, just start rolling around on the mat by yourself. So you do shoulder roll left, shoulder roll right, Granby roll left, Granby roll right, forward shoulder roll left, forward shoulder roll right. Kick up to a handstand and slowly do a roll out. Hold a handstand against the wall, and then put your feet on the wall, and then open into the splits, and then bring your legs back and down while you're holding a handstand. That's your back and your butt are against the wall, but you drop into like we call a press handstand. Is you're in the Chinese splits, and then you put your hands down, and then you lean against the wall, and you do boop, and you bring your legs above your head. That's all covered in the Combat Athletics. Like there's so many exercises in the Combat Athletics program that we created, and one of the good things about it, it was created for jiu-jitsu, catch wrestling, fighters, because it's all body weight and gymnastics exercises, different ways to do push-ups, different ways to do pull-ups, different ways to climb the rope, all the different floor exercises that would help you be more athletic. I mean, if you're running and you don't know how to do a dive roll, you need to learn how to roll. Back extension, handstand rollouts, cartwheels, forearm cartwheels, shoulder cartwheels. Stuff's
so important. I'm really feeling that. Like the older I get, mid 50s now, it's just need the that body work. I remember Guru Dan talking about that like 30 years ago. He was like, man, every decade, like more stuff is going to get harder to do, and he goes, you gotta change your routines up regularly.
Well, I'll tell you another. So Aikido, the reason they teach all the dive rolls and all the fall stuff is because it activates all your pressure points. So it's very shiatsu-esque based. And a lot of people have never known that the reason they do their dive roll with their palm and then they hit their shoulder tucks and they are hitting all the nerve points in the back. You don't have to go fast, just go slow. But a front shoulder roll also affects, and it hits all your, not all, but a lot of nerve meridians that you don't usually access. And then the dive roll to the left, look at the Aikido. I'll actually find a video. I'll try to post it up on Facebook or on the CSW association site. All the falls and the break falls and then the dive rolls that Aikido has was actually therapeutic.
That's awesome, Coach. And so last thing, I'll wrap it up with this. Coach brought me a suitcase full of material. I already have it all sorted. It's right over here. and a stack of DVDs like this from his collection, and VHS tapes, and there's even a Betacam tape in there. I don't have a machine for that one. We'll have to send that one out. But all the rest of them, all this stack of stuff, I can't even count how many hours that's going to be. But we're digitizing all of that stuff, and it's going to make its way to you guys who are members on ericpaulson.com.
I found some. So I found some of Sifu Larry's stuff that his first seminar he ever did for me in 1988 in Palm Springs. I think it was 8 or 9. So August or September of 88, he came out and did a kickboxing and trapping seminar. And I found that's in there. He did another one. I found a bunch of old Sifu Larry stuff that I had because I was helping him shoot and create his heavy bag and his trapping stuff in the later days. So I was working with some of the pad drills and stuff for MMA with him. But I found some of that. And then I found some old training videos from Boxing Works and people videotaping classes and private lessons. And there's a plethora of stuff. I found a lot of fights. I found a lot of Shooto videos, amateur Shooto from America, and then a lot of the pro fights in Japan and demos. There's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be adding a lot more categories, not just, techniques and stuff, but a lot of that other fun stuff too. Get into the, the really cool stuff, the historical stuff, and it's Coach's Archive. So we want you guys to see that stuff.
Well, it's funny because I saw something called Higgins BJJ. It was RIGENS BJJ. And it was just video footage of old video footage of him competing, of his brothers competing, other people competing. And I'm looking at it going, I wonder if this is his archive. It's like his old videotapes that he found. Because I know Horian and Hoyce had a bunch. Horian had a bunch of videos at the Gracie Academy and they got stolen.
Oh man, gold. That stuff's gold.
Yeah.
Man, I'm already capturing this stuff, Coach. It's cool.
Well, so I had some of my videos get sold with my storage unit. And I actually had to buy back. I had to go to a flea market and buy back a lot of my old videos and things. But a lot of the cool stuff got sold. I had a ton of sticks from Guru Dan that were signed that got sold. I had videos. I had all my I had boxes of all my spats that I wore when I fought. I had all my gloves, all my Shooto gloves, my shin guards. I had a gun in there. There was a rifle. I was in Japan for 2 or 3 weeks. And apparently while I was gone, they sent me a notice stating that my storage unit, I was delinquent on a payment. And if I didn't pay this payment, my storage unit was going to be sold. And I never received that letter or that notice or whatever it was. And then a guy that I did a movie with calls me. He's from Argentina. He goes, "Hey, guess what? I went to a flea market the other day and they were selling all your personal items." No. I saw you on a bunch of magazines. You're on a bunch of magazine covers. And I saw all these pictures of you doing martial arts. And I go, wow, I can't believe that my magazines have made flea markets. There's so many magazine covers and things that I did, and they're selling them in flea markets. And he goes, yeah, there's a lot of really cool stuff too. A lot of personal pictures. And I go, what? He goes, yeah. And I go, they sold my storage unit. Oh my gosh. And I just freaked out. I had a roll top desk. I had tons of great stuff that I put in this unit because I had moved apartments at the time, and all the great stuff that I had that I moved to California with, and then a lot of material stuff, obviously. But I just had cool sculptures in there that I bought. I accumulated. I used to buy cool art. So I had all these cool pictures and everything got sold. And I had to buy a bunch of it back. And most of the stuff I bought back was just a bunch of crap. The good stuff got taken. Pretty sad.
Oh man. Well, you still have a lot of good stuff though.
Well, this last box that I gave you was one of the boxes that I bought back.
Man.
And that video, that Sifu Larry video, that will go on America's Funniest Videos. Going to. I was going to put it on there a long time ago, but I lost the tape, but I thought it was sold. Apparently, it hasn't been.
That's awesome. Well, let's wrap this one up, Coach. All right, guys. It was great. It was awesome. It was awesome. Our return show, and so we'll set up some more here shortly. And thanks for listening, guys, and thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next one.
See you guys soon. I'm going to try to bring in interview some other people pretty soon. So
perfect.
Yeah, should be cool.
Awesome.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Bob.